This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Prosecutors say the missing piece needed to solve Suzanne Morphew's case was her body. Now, 3 years later, her skeletal remains have been found. The last photo of Suzanne Morphew was taken on May 9th of 2020. The photo was sent to the new man in her life, a man in Michigan that she was having an affair with for 2 years, a former high school classmate named Jeff Libler. The affair wasn't discovered by investigators until 6 months after her disappearance. Jeff Libler is also married with 6 children. 6 months, this man kept quiet. His excuse? He didn't want to ruin her reputation. As he told police, "I didn't want to be that guy." But here's the thing, Jeff. You are that guy. I feel like the investigation would have went a little smoother had he spoke up and come forward as soon as he knew she went missing. I get it. You're married. Reaching out to police and telling them about personal relationships isn't the easiest thing to do. But when your mistress comes up missing, it's better to come forward. They will find out, and you will come off as being deceptive. Cops will make you a suspect real quick. Libler was eliminated as a suspect early on. Jeff was in his own marriage. He deleted his social media accounts and text messages. Sounds like someone we know. I'm sure that planned trip to Ecuador didn't go over very well with his wife. Or Barry. If someone is missing, and detectives learn that you have ties to the motive, you might as well sit your wife down, or husband, and be 100% honest. I think I'd rather be the one coming clean to my wife, rather than letting the authorities tell it. So investigators found Suzanne's body during an unrelated search in the area of Moffat County. The search was related to the Edna Quintana disappearance. Skeletal remains were found, and dental records confirmed the remains to be those of Suzanne Morphew. It all began back on Mother's Day of 2020 when Suzanne Morphew decided to take a ride on her mountain bike, which was pretty routine for Suzanne. She took full advantage of having access to those trails. But on that day, she never returned from her bike ride when they couldn't reach her on Mother's Day. Concerned friends and family called neighbors. Neighbors then called police. Police found it a bit odd that they found her mountain bike fairly easy. It was noticeable from the road, but yet no one else noticed the bike. How the hell did that bike get there? You couldn't ride it there. It was either thrown from the road or someone had to have walked it down there and placed it. This case has had foul play written all over it since day one.
Right now I'm staring at the Santa Cruz moving color.
Suzanne's husband Barry claims to be 150 miles away, at a job site when he gets the news of his wife's disappearance. Their daughters Mallory and Macy were away on a camping trip that weekend, and the case gained a ton of media attention early on. It was later determined that reports of Barry's whereabouts were conflicting. He was said to be at a firefighter training drill. Then others said that he was at a job site in Denver, so Barry's alibi was questionable. Police had way more questions than answers. Investigators were beginning to count the red flags early on in this case.
Are you?
Okay, so I'm the daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
And I'm here.
Is this your truck?
That's my truck.
On May 13th of 2020, Suzanne's bike helmet was found with no damage to it, right off of Route 50. Suzanne's family and friends were very proactive in her search, organizing search teams. Her nephew Trevor told 9 News that every morning we create a game plan. We send search teams out to remote mountainous areas and towns, using search dogs and drones. People from all over the country came to volunteer and help search for Suzanne. Neighboring communities came together, covered a lot of ground. There have been quite a few developments in the more than 3 years since the 49-year-old Colorado mother of 2 has disappeared. But it was the text messages between Suzanne and Barry that indicated she wanted to end the relationship. One text read, "I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." Barry tried to hide this message because it was found in his catch, indicating it had been deleted. It was said that Barry was having an affair with an employee by the name of Morgan. She adamantly denied the claims. She said she is not the other woman and claims to be afraid of Barry. She said that there was zero romance, and their relationship was strictly professional, as she was a landscaper too. Morgan stated that Barry was acting very unusual. She said that she worked on a beach construction site on May 8th, 2 days before Suzanne's disappearance, with Barry close to Maysville, which was an area of interest to CBI.
Where is it? Where's the bike?
Oh, it's right there.
Where was it?
It was like just right down here in this little embankment. Right here. So.
Barry even offered a $100,000 reward for her safe return. A family friend matched this offer, bringing it to $200K, in hopes that someone with information would come forward. Investigators already had their suspicions, though. We all know that people grieve differently, but investigators thought Barry's behaviors were very suspicious.
Lion?
Yeah, it was just like
Was
lying.
it no lion? Mountain?
Barry was already assuming his wife was dead, and she hadn't even been missing for 24 hours yet. To investigators, it just seemed as if Barry was attempting to sway their investigation. Morgan also stated that Barry dismissed her early that Saturday at 11 a.m. because he had things to do with his wife. He wanted to spend time with Suzanne and go hiking, but then she later found out that he was in town instead, without his wife. Could he have been hanging out with his other alleged girlfriend, Shoshona Dark? I have to question whether or not Morgan is even being honest. I think she may have had a thing going on with Barry at some point. Suzanne Morphew suspected Barry of having a side chick for good reason. Information travels fast in small towns. The 129-page affidavit released by police stated that Barry was seeing Shoshona Dark 2 months after his wife disappeared, but I think he was seeing her way before that. He just stopped hiding it when his wife disappeared. On his way back home, Barry was calling everyone, family and friends, talking about all the recent cougar activities, stating Suzanne was dragged away by a lion. Since 1990, 25 known attacks by mountain lions on humans in Colorado have occurred, 3 of which resulted in human deaths. Attacks are rare but do happen. There's usually some sort of evidence, such as blood, torn clothing. There would have been hair, some lion tracks, and that bike would have sustained some damage as well. Police would have been able to determine that scenario immediately. There was no such evidence of a lion attack.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. We're doing the best. We got a lot of people coming.
On May 22, 2020, FBI, CBI, investigators from Chaffee County Sheriff's Office sifted through the dirt of one of Barry Morphew's job sites near Salida. After being told by Morgan that she was sent to the job site for a retainer wall job, and it being the first time that Barry did not have the proper tools or equipment on site for them, Morgan was fired by Barry Morphew after finding out she was cooperating with investigators. She even claims to have been intimidated by people while talking to police and her rights to refuse to let them analyze her phone. On June 10, 2020, a community canvass was conducted in Chaffee County by nearly 24 members of law enforcement. Then on September 25th of 2020, family and friends planned a candlelight vigil for Suzanne Morphew at Riverside Park near Salida. On October 7th of 2020, photos and love letters are shared with CBS News Colorado by Barry Morphew. He also shared a different theory of what may have happened to his wife and believes she was abducted. After months of intense searching, investigating, and interviews, suspicion grew around Barry. On May 5th, 2021, he was arrested for murdering his wife and the community was shocked. The evidence was circumstantial and the motive was strong, but police were beside themselves when security footage showed Barry dumping garbage bags and different trash cans in the neighborhood of Bloomfield. On December 20th of 2021, Barry Morphew's defense attorney raised questions about a conflict of interest when they discovered the presiding judge had a close relationship with an attorney for a potential witness, and the judge assigned over the case removed himself. And the witness was his alleged girlfriend, Shoshona. Go figure. Barry was then released. The charges were dropped without prejudice, meaning at some point later on, he could be charged again. I'm pretty sure they told him not to leave town anytime soon. $500,000 bond, and he's back on the streets. With an ankle bracelet, they're definitely going to keep him on a short leash. Barry's defense team was demanding an investigation on District Attorney Linda Stanley for concealing evidence and misconduct under ethics violations, stating that her affidavit was like something out of a tabloid. Murder cases were thrown out due to her withholding evidence in the past. Even today, family members are still puzzled on why the girls would be out on a camping trip and Barry going out of town for work on Mother's Day. Nothing felt right that day, from the moment neighbors called police and everyone being gone on a day they should have been together. When a loved one goes missing, especially a mother on Mother's Day, we all want answers. This case has had many twists and turns thus far. The motives there for Barry to have committed a crime of passion. Police found a spy pen that caught audio. The pen was purchased by Suzanne in an attempt to catch Barry in a conversation with his mistress, but she left the pen around recording her own conversations as well. She was 100% about to leave Barry for Jeff. Barry couldn't handle that. Police found the spy pen in Barry's car, confirming that he had found it and knew about her affair after listening to the recordings. Barry couldn't process that. It shocked him. Jeff destroyed his phone, but police were able to recover LinkedIn messages. They learned through those messages that Suzanne and Jeff met out of state on 6 different occasions. They were able to confirm their intimate relationship. There's a ton of circumstantial evidence against Barry on this case. FBI found a tranquilizer cap in the family's dryer. We all know Barry's an avid hunter, but that's a bit odd. Barry says he was shooting at chipmunks, but that doesn't make any sense. Police believe Barry found the spy pen and heard all her conversations, went into a rage, then killed her. Suzanne Morphew just wanted to be happy again. Investigators believe that purchasing that spy pen and not securing it proved to be a fatal mistake. It's tough for investigators when all they have to go on is the word of one person who claimed the night before she went missing they had a nice dinner and made love. Barry stated, "I was very happy that day. There was some tension between us, but we made up. We both went to bed, and she was still asleep when I left for work." Is he telling the truth? Can we believe him? According to FBI, they say Barry's truck moved at 3 a.m. by the area of where Suzanne's bike was found on the morning she went missing, according to data from his truck. Police still might have more questions than answers, because oddly enough, finding her remains have made things a bit complicated. The area is nicknamed the Boneyard due to the number of remains that have been found there. Saguache County officials stumbled upon Suzanne's remains, searching for a missing person in an entirely different case. What are the odds? Divine intervention, as if Edna held their hands and walked them right to her. So now investigators have to ask themselves, could she have been a victim of a serial killer? Or who else could have done this? This by no means clears Barry or exonerates him. It just means investigators have more work to do and now have to look at other possibilities. All roads could still lead right back to Barry. We'll just have to find out. My heart goes out to Suzanne and her family, and Barry if he had absolutely nothing to do with this. I still have my suspicions though, but time will tell. We all make mistakes, and she wasn't happy, and it seems like all those closest to them knew that. No one deserves this. I don't care who cheated on who first. If we aren't happy in a relationship or marriage, there are so many better choices than taking a life. It's very sad. Suzanne had plans to go and be happy with someone else who appreciated her. You hear about it all the time. The perfect life isn't always what it seems. a successful business owner with a beautiful home, beautiful wife, and family. And sometimes what looks like the perfect life is just a mirage. There's a great difference between appearance and reality. Suzanne Morphew was just waiting for the right time to take flight. Unfortunately, she waited just a little too long. Thanks for watching my video.